I'm doing this video for my dear old friend Ted. You're not old, you're an old friend. Ted and I grew up together and used to sing John Denver songs in the back of our friend Brian's truck. Pretty fun. I think I was playing fiddle back then or something, but or trying to. So Ted wanted to know how you play chords and riffs at the same time, like going from a chord. Or maybe like a rock thing, like playing chords and then a little bit of melody to add in. There's a couple ways to do it. He wanted to know about, Ted wants to know, hi Ted, about theory and practice. So the only thing I can tell you about theory right now is that if you're improvising and you want to stay in one key, you can practice learning the scale of the chord or of the chord progression you're learning. Learn it all over the neck. So if it's your chord progression's in G, maybe you're playing, maybe you're playing something in G, right? G, C, D, G, and you learn a G scale. You learn it a couple of other places. Maybe. So you learn where your notes of the scale are, and then just play notes from the scale, or, you know, so if you're playing, just play notes from the scale, right? Still playing notes out of the G scale. So that's one way you can do it, and you can do any kind of scale. Different chords have different kind of scales that will sound cool over them. There's so many ways and tensions that you can add, and this is not the video to go into that. But the way most people learn how to do this kind of thing is they pick a lick that they can play or transcribe into a bunch of different keys. Like, for example, you can take this little blues lick. I'm playing a G7th. Like that. I'm playing the C like a blues. Back to the G. Here comes a D. So you pick your chords, some sort of G7th maybe. We're doing a blues progression here, I just decided. In a blues progression you have your 1, your 4, and your 5. It can be any kind of G chord, really. But we're going to do G7th because we're going to do a blues scale. Not exactly blues scale, but that's the way I do it. So, and I'll put the major third in sometimes. But so here's our G. You can play like a bar chord if you want to. Play the C7th like this, or like this, and you can play the D. C-shaped D chord. You should look at my videos on the K system and how to play scales out of them. That's really useful for this kind of stuff. So in this position we have this lick, and I'll play the chord, play the lick again. Maybe I'll modify it a few times. There's the C. It's not particularly interesting. So you practice playing a chord. You play one chord if you want to. So, and you pick a time that you want to throw your lick in. So if this lick is 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. that's a good way to practice, and you can do it with any lick and any chord or chords. You can start with one chord, just play your G chord. You just practice going back and forth. And remember, don't squeeze the guitar neck, because then you'll have trouble letting go of the chord to play notes again. You know, look at the video on squeezing. That's really important if you want to be able to play songs. Not pressing on the neck, because if I did, first of all, you couldn't, play very fast, and you wouldn't, you don't have the same expression, and you have to let go each time and, release those muscles. So you don't want those muscles ever to be tense. So we did it in this position, so you pick another position that you know. So maybe you know this G chord, and this C chord, or this C chord, and this D chord. You maybe play the D chord like this, or like this, like that. So anyway, so we'll do those three chords, this chord, and we'll find that lick, this lick that goes, so you just figure it out. So I'm starting on the root. So here's the root. Basically the same lick. So you practice that lick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? Do it really slow with the metronome. Make sure it's the same. And then practice the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That was a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now our C chord. You can use the same lick. 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There's a D, C. And there'll be happy accidents. Whoops. I'm looking at the camera. So you practice it the same way. Play the chord, play your lick. If you memorize your blues scale, you can start to improvise a few licks. Here's your blues scale. Right? Maybe you'll find a lick here. You just keep coming back to the one. Now, it's a really dumb example, but it's a way that you can learn to play these things. It doesn't have to be blues scales; it can be anything. You can take a major scale. Let's do it in D. Let's see. Here's the D scale. I'm going to go backwards. I'm doing a 1, 4, 5 progression. 1, 4, 5, 1. Just, for practice. So, and I'm finger picking this time, but I'm going to stop finger picking in time. So 1 and 2 and 3. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. So that's 5 quarter notes, 5 eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So you have 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and to play your chords. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes a G. 3 and 4 and all these chords are going to work because they're diatonic, meaning they're in this key. They're only using notes from the D scale, right? Here's a different thing. Here's a G again. All I'm doing is figuring out how much space I have for that chord, for the note rather.